Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of MLG's NOS Performance Pro Tips. We have a great game for you this time out, so without further ado, let's get into it. The Boss Toss was on top of the world at the beginning of the Starcraft 2 scene, winning GSLs left and right. Although he experienced the fall off towards the third and fourth quarter of 2011, he is now back on the rise in 2012 after leaving OGS and joining SK Gaming full-time. Minchul was known for being a two-base player for the majority of 2011, but lately he's beginning to flourish into a full-on macro player. Don't get me wrong though, MC's two-base play is some of the best in the game, and that's what we'll be looking at today in this match versus Dongregu from the MLG Spring Arena. Go ahead and make probes up till 9 supply per usual and send a probe over to the natural. Drop a pylon to start a wall off using the rocks to help out. Due to MC scouting, he's able to see that DRG will be going for the standard 15 pool. As a result, MC opts to use his chrono boost to on probes and throws down a nexus at 17 supply. Keep in mind, MC is still multitasking at this time. Over at DRG's base, he's blocking the Zerg's expansion, first with a probe and then eventually a pylon. Throw down the forge at 17 supply as well as a gateway at 18 supply. Because of his pylon at the hatchery spot, MC will be able to continue making probes. However, make sure to build yourself a pylon and cannon back at home as soon as the forge finishes. MC has cut probe production at 18 supply to facilitate a cannon as soon as possible. Place a pylon to finish the wall off and resume probe production. At 20 supply, you'll want to add on an assimilator, and at 22, add on a cybernetics core. Continue to produce probes and start your zealot at 26 supply from your only gateway. You'll want to begin warp gate research as soon as your core finishes and a sentry as soon as your zealot finishes. And if you scout or feel something that might threaten you, create a second cannon behind the debris. Add on 3 gateways for a total of 4 in your main base and start the weapons upgrade at your forge. Your third and fourth gas should be started around 48 supply to help support your 4 finished warp gates and the robotics facility, which you should start at 52 supply. Around 60 supply, you should have 3 zealots and 5 sentries roughly, and you want to start taking out the debris so you can move out and take map control. Go ahead and seal up the wall back at home with pylons and start an observer from your robotics facility. You'll want to start preparing for your attack. Move out to the NAGA tower to force your opponent to produce units and make him feel threatened for an attack. As soon as the observer pops out, start a warp prism. MC continues on with this build, but it won't be used due to the upcoming play. When the warp prism pops out, he immediately moves it out with some troops, but does so very carefully. MC controls the NAGA tower so he can see any units moving across the map to his base. During this time, he focuses a lot of his attention on making sure the warp prism stays hidden from his opponent. Once he gets his army to the enemy's base, he loads up 4 sentries, pops into the main, and force fields the ramp. He continues to bring up the rest of his army through the warp prism and over the ledge. This simple yet elegant move ends the game in MC's favor because DRG cannot do anything to defend the tech in his main. The 3 big tips to remember here are: number 1, try to block the hatcheries from going down in the beginning of the game. This will deny your opponent the economic boost from having 3 early hatcheries. Number 2, make sure to control the NAGA tower so you can keep the warp prism hidden from your opponent until the attack is occurring. And finally, number 3, the key to this is 4 sentries full of energy. When your opponent sees this in his main, he'll know you can force field indefinitely at the ramp, and he will be losing everything in the main. For more NOS performance videos, go to MajorLeagueGaming.com/NOS.